Welcome back to Pachinko Simulator.
Konami.
We're Merry Grumblemas, folks.
Merry Grumblemas.
This time, this one is more of a lump of coal than a present, though. It's
Castlevania Dracula X.
Dracula X.
What system was this one on?
This was on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
This is the game that made me lose my faith in the Castlevania series.
Okay.
Oh, is there story? Oh, there's story.
Transylvania, the Middle Ages. An evil darkness had befallen the land, giving rise to sinister vampire legends. Until now, the people of Transylvania had grown accustomed to their peaceful existence, secure in the knowledge that their famed hero, Simon Belmont, had sealed the fate of Count Dracula several hundred years prior. Wicked townsfolk, possessed by the darkness, conspired to revive the King of Blood. Dracula, now undead once more, plotted to exact revenge upon the descendant of the family that destroyed him, Richter Belmont.
Richter Belmont.
The Prince of Evil viciously attacked the town with his unholy legion. He snatched away Richter's girlfriend, Annette, and her sister, Maria.
Take that, Annette and Maria.
Imprisoning them in his vile castle, he lies in wait for Richter to attempt a rescue. Richter, burdened by his destiny, left for Dracula's castle with his legendary ancestral whip, the determination to save his loved ones, and the resolve to send Dracula to eternal damnation once and for all.
Yeah, eternal damnation, Dracula.
I'm coming for you, Drac. I brought my jumper.
So what happened here, folks, is... Okay. I was a huge fan of the Castlevania games. And the previous game that came out on the Super Nintendo was Super Castlevania 4. Oh, he's laughing. He's having a good time.
Yes, he is.
And so I love that game. So when this one came out, I was like, ooh, I have to own it. But you got to remember, this is back in the days when I was a kid. And like a $70 game was expensive.
Yes.
And my parents are all like, no, fuck you, you're buying your own goddamn stuff. So I had to plop down $70 of my own money for this game. And what I got was this. It doesn't control anything like Super Castlevania. You can't do the whip thing. You can do like weird Giga Crushes on your weapons, but it didn't make up for just how good Super Castlevania 4 was in comparison.
You mean a sequel that's not worthy of the actually, no, it'd be a sequel worthy of the previous sequels. So yeah, that's a double uck.
Now the funny thing is this is actually it's a really crap port of a really great game. This is in Japan. This was released for the I forget what system, but it's Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Which is funny because for years, I mean, this is the game where like after this came out and I wasted $70 on it. I'm like, whenever a new Castlevania would come out, I'm like, nah, I don't care, not interested. I won't be fooled again.
See, I've never been into the Castlevania series, so I couldn't tell you what the difference. I mean, to me, outside looking in,
yeah,
this looks pretty much identical to what I've been seeing on, say, the NES and the Super NES. You know, you got the dude, he's walking around, you hit a whip, or you sling a whip, you throwing axes.
It would appear that way, but I mean, it's hard to describe. But if you play this and you play Super Castlevania 4, the way they control is so like this controls a little bit better, if not about the same as Castlevania 3 on the Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo Castlevania 4 was just so much better control-wise.
So they tightened everything right up?
Yeah, it was like there was a huge difference. And then this thing was just like, meh. It was like a huge step backwards. So
if they fix the controls in this game, will this game be as bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not just the controls. Like I said, the worst thing about this is it's a very crappy port. So Rondo of Blood was actually a lot better. The game was a lot better. And for some reason they did the opposite of what they did back in the Nintendo days. They're all like, for the American audience, we'll punch up the difficulty. And this game is just balls ass hard.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, the end boss, I think I beat the end boss, but I mean, it was tough. I don't want none of that. But yeah, the funny thing about this game is, for years and years and years, I had it, I played it, like, I beat it, don't get me wrong, it was $70. I played it, I eventually beat it, but I didn't like the game. And for years and years, every now and then I'd be digging through my drawers or something like that, and I'd come across an NES game, and I'd be like, yeah! It's an NES game, I'm excited. And then it was this, and I was always like, this fucking game, I hate this game. It was always turning up like a dirty penny. And then one day I'm like, I'm going to play through all the Castlevanias again. I'm going to track them all down. And I was looking for this online, because I'd moved away from my, where I grew up. Oh, geez. Ah!
Bad doggy. Bad kitty. Bad multi-headed demon.
Meow. Weirdly enough, I do know people who say that they like this game better than Castlevania 4. Yeah, to each their own. But I guess the point was I was looking up like, how much would it cost me to buy this thing again? This thing is crazy fucking rare and super expensive now.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, next time I'm up north and visiting my folks, I'm gonna dig this out because it's worth a lot of money. I wasn't gonna sell it, but I was like, I'll play it anyways. It's just nice to have a game that's worth something.
And then of course
yeah, and then I couldn't find the fucker anywhere. For years and years, it was like a goddamn dirty penny, and now I can't find the damn thing.
I half expected it to be like after you moved out and everything, your parents, well, we decided to turn that into a storage area. We had a yard sale, and they probably sold it for like, $2 or something like that.
Wow.
No tuna for you, kitty.
Speaking of the high cost of games and stuff nowadays, I'm surprised that things are selling for what they're selling for. Like, I don't know. I wish I would have never actually sold any of my old systems.
Really?
I wish I would have kept them. And not for the money factor. It's just because, as a kid growing up, you're like, wow, this game looks like this. And then they come out with new systems. And
yeah.
The graphics are always better. And I remember as a kid growing up thinking, I can't wait to see what games look like when I'm older. And then, of course, when you're older,
they're like, meh.
The games suck.
Yeah. The games look good.
They look good.
But they're terrible.
Yes. There's no development in them. They release the games half finished. And then there's always updates and, dribbleware and...
Well, not to mention, most modern games are just, like, dull and bland looking.
Well, that and, you got the paywall and everything and...
Oh, yeah, it's all microtransaction city.
Yes. There's no such thing as taking a game and just popping it into a system, powering it up, and then the game just starts,
Yeah, those days are long over.
And it's just nice sometimes just to pick up your old games that you used to play and just pop it in and just go. Not to mention the aspect, too, of I got kids. And it would have been nice if I would have kept my old systems. That way I could have started them off on, the 8-bit and then moved them into the 16-bit, then the 32-bit as they were growing up. And, then they could have also, I don't know, they might have been able to see some of the...
And they could have been like, changes. Dad, we don't want to play that stinking SOS game.
Probably. Well, I read a thing online where some father actually did that with his son. And he started him off on like the old systems. I mean, we're talking like, I think older than Atari.
Oh, yuck, like the Vectrex and the Odyssey and all that?
And then what he did was every year he moved him to the next generation.
That's kind of cool, actually.
And then so he started him off when he was like only 2 or 3 on whatever it was, and then the next year he'd move him to the next generation. Then,
so the kid got good.
Yeah. and he'd play that. That's what he played for that year. And then the next year he'd move on to the next generation. So the article I was reading online, the kid was able to beat games that a lot of people are not able to beat. because, like you said, he got good. You know, he played the games back when they were hard, and that year that he's playing the games, he wasn't just well, like I do. I do a lot of racing and stuff, but he was actually playing a lot of like RPGs and puzzle games and stuff.
Ghouls and ghosts. And...
Yeah, stuff like that.
Got you.
So yeah, that is cool though.
Yeah, that's what I wish I would have done. And nowadays, to go back and pick up the games and stuff, jeez, it could
those damn hipsters ruin everything.
Yeah, it could be a couple $100 on just a single game.
Yeah. I mean, the plus thing now is that at least you have emulation. You can do like the easy way, but I don't know. Me, I prefer running on OEM. Now this game I'll never run on OEM because I'm not gonna pay hundreds of dollars for this game because I know it sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say a bad game is a bad game.
Yeah.
Oh, they Donatello'd your ass.
All right, we'll try to continue from there. Do I got to start at the bridge? I bet I have to start at the bridge because this game's a bastard. I mean, the thing is this game is really tough, and it would have been a little bit more forgivable had it not been so meh. Like the controls are awful compared to Castlevania 4, and you know what the worst thing about this game, the thing that I hate the most, is it made me not want to play Castlevania games anymore. And right after this came out, the next big thing to come out was, I want to say, Symphony of the Night.
Mm-hmm, that sounds about right.
Which is one of the best Castlevanias ever in a lot of people's opinion. And I was just like, a buddy of mine was like, oh, you need to play Symphony of the Night. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get fooled again.
So, how long did you wait to finally play Symphony of the Night?
Many years. Actually,
really?
This is funny what actually happened. What kind of got me to play Symphony of the Night was on the PSP, they came out with Castlevania Dracula, the Dracula X Chronicles.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I was like, oh, I'm going to buy that. Because I think it was like after I realized that Dracula X was a crazy expensive game. And I'd probably never get to play it again. Okay, well that sucks. Wow. Alright, that was just pitiful. Anyways, I don't know why, but I picked it up. I was like, okay, well, it looks like an update. Maybe they got the graphics look better. Maybe the controls don't suck ass so bad. And what it was is that game was, I thought it was a modern update port of this. It wasn't. It was a modern update port of, or up-to-date port of Rondo of Blood, the game that this was based on.
Okay.
The much better game that this was based on. And I played it and I'm like, wow, this is nothing like Dracula X. This is way better. And then that's when I found out that, Rondo of Blood, the original game that this was based off of, was actually like one of the fan favorites. Everyone loved that game.
So is that when you went back to Symphony of the Night?
Well, yeah, because as one of the bonuses with it, it came with a copy of Symphony of the Night.
Oh, okay.
Built into the PSP game. And I played it on there, and I was like, wow, Symphony of the Night was really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nothing like Castlevania. It's like what the more modern Castlevanias are. This is, like, Rondo of Blood was probably the last classic Castlevania, in my opinion. As you know, there's a few games that are sort of like it. Some of the DS titles, but they're more like Symphony of the Night than this. I like this style where it's going through levels, and Symphony of the Night and all that. It was basically like Metroid, where it's just a giant open world where you're constantly exploring and trying to get to new areas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I do like that. That's actually a lot of fun. But it's just, to me, it's not Castlevania. And I know there's going to be people that be like, well, that's Castlevania to me. And I'm like, it's Castlevania to you, but it's not to me. I grew up with like the old school bastard hard-ass Castlevanias, you know?
Down you go.
The ones that had the stages in this. This is why I kind of, not this game, but I love Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood's really good. The voice acting is horrible, but...
It adds to the appeal, you know?
There we go.
Now watch out for that guy up there. He stabs downward.
In fact, the funny thing is a lot of the sprites from... I want to say a lot of the sprites from Symphony of the Night are actually taken from this in Rondo of Blood.
Try to stab at me? I don't think so.
I was gonna say, do their spears actually get longer when they stab downward?
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's probably because Dracula's a cheating fuck.
I was gonna say, it seems like an unfair advantage. You made it rain.
Yeah, I did.
Make it rain!
There we go. But the thing, I mean, like, they have, like, hidden areas in this game where it's like you could save Maria and that. But at least in, like, the original Rondo of Blood, like, you could unlock them as playable characters. Well, you could unlock Maria as a playable character.
Alright, up the stairs.
But no, when I saw that, because we're playing this on, what is this, a modded PS Classic?
Yeah.
When I saw that you had this, I was like, you know, this might be an interesting game. I haven't played this probably since somewhere in the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
So it's been a good 20, almost 30 years?
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I could say this is nothing like Rondo of Blood. I will say it controls about the same as Rondo of Blood.
Grab that.
Oh, I'm fighting a boss.
That is a big bat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, at least we're here. So we gotta fight Sassy Skeleton here. See you later. Maybe. Those damn eyeballs.
Now, on the plus side, me staying away from Castlevania made me not play Castlevania 64. And I'm happy for that. Because that game was really terrible from what I saw.
Yeah, it was like a new developer who had never used 3D before.
Yeah, it was just awful.
And they were pretty much forced to use 3D, and they didn't want to. Matt McMuscles has a good What Happened episode on Castlevania 64.
I was gonna say there was a lot of games that came out on the 64 that was like, oh, let's push the 3D envelope now.
Yeah, and it just failed. The funny thing is, like, Mario 64 translated well to 3D.
See, I didn't really care for that one.
Really, I really loved Castlevania, or not Castlevania. Mario 64.
Yeah, and that's where most people settle in. You know, for me, I never warmed up to it.
Oh, now I ain't got anything to fight this guy.
It's a bat of snakes. Well, it seems you're working. Heck, I think you were doing better with your whip than you did with the other weapons.
So.
Yeah. Oh no, game over. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Alright, one more try.
Your button presses were useless and ineffective.
Yeah, they were.
We're back at the bridge.
But yeah, Symphony of the Night wasn't too bad. I don't like the aesthetics. I'll put it that way. And I'm not saying it's not a nice looking game.
I was going to say, the backgrounds look great.
Yeah. Oh, this?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Symphony of the Night I didn't. The graphics look great. I just didn't like that they made Alucard super... I don't know. He has long, flowing white hair, and he does not look like Alucard. It's funny because I know so many people are like, well, that's just what Alucard looks. I'm like, motherfucker, I played Castlevania 3. That is not how Alucard looks. They prettied him up for modern audiences. I'll put it that way. I think that was the point where the game got the series started getting really anime influenced. And I'm not a fan of that styling. I like the original Gothic, look that the original, NES games and the Super Nintendo games had.
You sound like the old timer.
I am the old timer.
Why did they change it? They're always changing the game and it ruins it.
I don't mind if they make changes for the good, but...
Take that, Donkey Kong.
I just take it's like if suddenly they're all like, you know what, we're redoing Mario, and he's gonna have like no facial hair and some skinny jeans,
yeah,
and a fedora. And it's like, that's not Mario.
I was gonna say if they were trying to come up with today's market, he'd be wearing skinny jeans. He'd have a man bun.
Oh yeah, he'd definitely have a man bun. If not, Luigi would definitely
and then
have a
I
man
would be
bun.
the old man. Oh, they ruined Mario. They're changing it just to change something.
Meanwhile, the actual target market's like, no, we don't want this.
What the heck was that, a potion?
Holy water.
It's the holy water.
Oh, holy water.
It's green in this game for some reason.
Oh, when I think of water, I think it's green.
Lime flavor.
Yeah.
I want to get right with the Lord, it's got to be lime flavor.
Damn straight. Be all like, yeah, lemon lime, yum.
Or it could be green apple.
Oh.
Come on, I dare you.
I will say, I do kind of like the music in this. It's kind of a funky new take on like the classic theme.
Mm-hmm. All of you drink the green apple juice.
Oh no, I definitely... Actually, no, I'll take the holy water. If I do make it back to that holy water will be useful. So you never played any of the Castlevanias then, Mike?
Never. Dracula is just not my cup of tea.
I was really into monster movies when I was a kid, so...
That you were.
This was like right up my alley.
Right?
The first time I played Castlevania at my cousin's house when I was like a very little kid, I was just like, this is amazing. You got mummies, you got Medusa, you got Frankenstein's monster, and the Dracula's the main villain. I was just like, this is so cool.
All right.
See, my parents didn't raise a serial killer, so I got wholesome games like Duck Hunt and Mario and racing games, and I didn't get like the Dracula and the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I didn't really have a chance to play Castlevania. Still got that holy water?
Yep.
Oh, you haven't even taken a hit yet.
Oh,
Jinx him.
The night is young.
You were saying? Betty, 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 Betty. 1, 2, 3, count. I'm getting angry. I'm getting all wing flappy flappy. Flappy bat. Oh, he's hurting.
Ah, got him on the ropes. Got him.
Got him.
Can't believe I finally got that jerk.
See you later, suckers.
So you had wholesome games then, eh?
I had wholesome games, yes.
Like Final Fight?
Yes. Where you're the mayor of the town trying to save your daughter. It's a good, wholesome game. And Conker's Bad Fur Day. Well,
That was a very wholesome game.
yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
I was gonna say, that was later. I was actually surprised Nintendo would release something like that. You know, because Nintendo was always family friendly.
Well, I think they regretted it.
You know, when they released something that was, you know, you had to be 17 and, you know, M for mature, I was like, wow, really? I've got to get this game.
I just think it's funny that you're all like, I was into wholesome games, but I know you had a Sega, which was like the edgy system.
Right, yeah, and that's the only reason I had the Sega was because, you know, the very first Mortal Kombat, it was like sweat on the, on the Nintendo, and, you know, Sega, you could turn on the blood, you could have the fatalities, and...
Ow!
You know, the systems, they were marketing the Sega more for the adults.
I'm glad you weren't a serial killer like I was playing Castlevania.
Well, if I would have known. As I do remember when we first met and you were moving in, you know, the only question I asked you, have you ever killed anybody? And you told me not yet, and that was good enough for me.
Why is that meatloaf full of spikes?
I don't know. Fucking Dracula doesn't know how to make a meatloaf.
Apparently not.
You didn't cut up the onions good enough.
Well, there. You know, that's the thing. You're all like, did you kill anyone? And I was like, no. And you're like, okay, well, you're in. And did I kill anyone the whole time I was there? I mean, not that you're aware.
Not to my knowledge, no.
I did play a lot of Castlevania, though, so I can see why you'd be nervous.
Done in by Medusa.
Game over? No, okay.
You got one more try, it looks like.
I know, at least the other Castlevanias that came before this had the good sense to actually put, like, how many lives you had left on the screen.
Yeah.
So
Not Dracula X. Huh?
So you weren't constantly guessing?
Yeah. I don't even have a score here. How am I supposed to brag to all my friends how, like, great I am at Castlevania, eh? Be like, no, I got 500 bajillion points, man.
Now it's a matter of just how far you can get.
You know, that's funny, because that's how it always was for me playing video games. Like, as a kid. Like, nobody bragged about, like, all their points that they got on...
Exactly. Nobody cared how many points you got.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, did you beat Mario? Yeah, I beat Mario. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Did you beat Mike
and
Tyson?
then games that had
Yeah,
no
did you
ending,
beat Mike Tyson? That was the tough one.
Right? But yeah, games that had no ending like Spy Hunter or games that would loop around once you got so far, like oh, what is it?
That's something.
Donkey Kong. You know.
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong was like that.
I mean, are they fun? Okay, but it's just I'd rather have something that has an ending to it. You know, a sense of accomplishment for the time spent pressing all those buttons and hurting your thumbs.
Well, that area up there is just bullshit.
Now, surely the game designers put that area up there for a reason.
Hey, look, I got points, but I don't get points.
I seen that. Maybe they were wanting to include that in the game.
And they're like, it was crunch time, and they just didn't have the time to get that feature
they
in.
just don't have the time.
Old man Konami was like, I need this game out by Christmas.
It's surprising how often that happens.
We got pachinko machines up the ass.
There we go.
Well, was this before they got into pachinko and stuff?
Oh yeah, this is way before.
So back when Konami was still good.
Yeah, this is back when Konami still made games.
I miss Konami. I miss the Konami code.
I gotcha.
Oh no.
Your button presses were useless and ineffective.
Yeah, they were.
Hit you upside the head.
I love this track, by the way, this Vampire Killer. This is a great cover of Vampire Killer.
Ow!
Pretty certain that's the name of the song. That's the thing. For as many things that there were good about this game, because it was using assets from Rondo of Blood, let's just face it. They were the good assets, but it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, right idea, wrong execution. Perfect example of it. Yo, Bridge, come back. Thank you.
Oh, the music just came back with a passion.
I've seen that. Or I should say I heard that.
Oh no, it's game over.
Game over.
Hell no. All right, so that's enough of that. All right, so Merry Grumblemas, folks. End of the episode.
End of the episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, and Merry Grumblemas, everyone.
Yes, and don't play Castlevania. You'll grow up to be a serial killer.
I went to the IGA to get some Christmas cheer. I just passed up my left front tire and it's getting hard to steer. Speeding down the highway, right past the Nagani cops. I had to drag my swampers to get the car to stop. Oh, rust and smoke, the heaters broke, the door just flew away. I light a match to see the dash and then I start to pray.